continuing with the example of the heresy and stuff that's widespread among Sedevacantists, especially indifferentism, because that's considered to be the mainstream, I guess. For example, there are many Facebook and Reddit groups online operated by indifferentist heretics who say stuff like, oh, Fenianism isn't allowed here, respect traditional clergy, and that kind of stuff. Or ban people, not only for being Feniites, but for actually believing what St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Robert Bellarmine, and so on teach. I myself was banned from a Sedevacantist Reddit group after I had a debate with an indifferentist heretic pointing out that the daimons are correct, that the so-called clergy they condemn are actually heretics. But the daimons themselves are heretics also, okay? So that's the problem. The so-called clergy that the daimons condemn are heretics. Yes, Donald Sanborn is a heretic. Marcel Lefebvre was a heretic. Charles Maguire, heretic. The SSPV, what's that guy's name? Richard Williamson, heretic. They're all heretics. They are actually heretics. The daimons are right about that. The daimons are correct in concluding and assessing and pointing out that those people are indifferentist heretics. That's what they are. The problem is the daimons themselves are also heretics. So you have heretics condemning heretics. You don't have a real Catholic condemning a heretic. You have heretics fighting heretics, okay? So, as I mentioned, the daimons are correct that the so-called clergy they condemn are actually heretics. But the daimons themselves are also heretics, right? I'm going to say the clergy they condemn, I mean, the SSPV, the SSPX, Donald Sanborn, whoever, all those kind of guys, those kinds of people, right? But I mean, I've never personally seen. This is an interesting note, right? Apart from myself, I've never seen the daimons engage in a prolonged debate, whether via let's say by voice or by text, with an actual person who believes the church's real teaching. There's one person who you see, this person is a very strange case, because it seems as though they believe the church's teaching on salvation as far as baptism of desire and blood and invincible ignorance go, but the person they have a very weak zeal, very, very weak zeal. This is the same person I mentioned that posted about the Christmas thing and said you shouldn't stop being friends with people because they are Feniites and stuff. This same person, right, claimed, at least then, I don't know if they still do, I would assume they still do, claims to believe in the church's teaching regarding baptism of desire and blood and invincible ignorance. But then they hold other strange beliefs and they use the name Catholic with no respect, just like that other person I was talking about. They just call random people Catholic, and I'm like, you have no respect for the name Catholic. Don't just call these people Catholics. Why are you is almost is an insult. Why are you calling these people Catholics? That really disgusts me. It really annoys me. So that person, when that person was hosting some video live streams kind of thing, and the daimons showed up at a few of them and kind of had, a bit of kind of sort of debating them, but it wasn't a full debate. I wouldn't consider it to be a full debate, So from, my point of view is that the daimons, apart from the debate they had with me via email that you'll see on the website if you go to the website, I've never seen them engage in a true debate with someone who professes the church's actual teaching. Because whenever the daimons debate somebody, is basically, except for the debate they had with me, it's always an indifferentist. It's always an indifferentist. I've never seen them debate anyone else who believes the church's actual teaching, that baptism of desire and blood apply to catechumens, but not to heretics, just like the church fathers said. They're always debating indifferentists. And so when the Daimons debate an indifferentist, of course the Daimons are going to destroy the person or shred them or whatever, because the person believes a bunch of foolishness about pagans being saved. So, I mean, I will say, like, apart from the Daimons' heresy, I enjoy seeing them condemn these indifferentists because they are heretics. But unfortunately, the Daimons themselves are also heretics, you know? So continuing. So I was banned from a so-called Catholic Reddit group for professing the Catholic faith, right? There is also a Sedevacantist Facebook group in the Philippines, which has or had either one or more indifferentist heretic admins who declined many of my posts and gave their reason as defense of their blasphemous indifferentist heresy filth. I say has or had because I have not posted in that group for a very long time. Probably, it might be over a year at this point, possibly. And as I recall, the last posts that I made were not declined. So perhaps by God's grace, God, he actually freed them from their indifferentism. That's possible. It's possible. I don't know for sure. I'm not sure because I no longer interact with any online Sedevacantist groups in any great extent. Like I don't, like, let's say like in 2023, I would post quotes in there. I'd post, church fathers and, different Catholic theologians or sermons and stuff like that. But now I don't really post to any of those groups. The only group on Facebook that I currently post any like Catholic stuff in is the group that I made for people who profess the truth regarding baptism, desire, and blood and invincible ignorance. I don't believe I've posted in any other group on Facebook, since like probably almost a year ago, if not more than a year ago, right? Now, nonetheless, even if God did free them from their indifferentism, which I hope is the case, and perhaps God willing, some of those admins could be watching this video right now because God showed them that, what I'm saying here is the church's real teaching. You know what I mean? So perhaps that could be the case. And if that's the case, God have mercy. May the Lord save them, right? And show them the truth about the papacy as well. And grant them the grace. Grant them the grace to believe the truth about what's happened to the papacy, okay? Anyways, nonetheless, at one point, some of my posts were declined out of contempt for the Catholic faith and in defense of indifferentist heresy, okay?